First, talk to me a little bit about jumping into the horror thriller genre again, kind of for the first time since Jennifer's Body. And this film is like, man, it's like a wild game of Saw and some toxic relationship. What intrigued you about this role?
I think that, it's not really a comedy the same way Jennifer's Body was, but it did strike me as situationally very funny. Maybe no one else would find that funny, but the idea of like being chained to your dead husband who killed himself as a punishment for your bad behavior, it is hilarious.
It's crazy. Right? I know. I'm with you. It's
funny.
Crazy.
We're not leaving until we open that safe. 200 grand in rocks.
We split the diamonds. Let's go.
2 people knew the combination to that safe. The guy who hired us. And the girl.
But it was just different than anything else I had read or seen. There are some like Gerald's Game elements, or even like Ready or Not, I guess, with some of the visuals you could draw on that. But I haven't done anything like that. I haven't done like a marriage drama before. I haven't done like a grown-up movie. I haven't done a traditional thriller or horror movie before, because Jennifer's Body was not that. It was very much like a teen angsty dark comedy, and this is not. It's nothing like that. It's a thriller, a psychological thriller, a marriage drama. It is supposed to have some comedic elements as well, but definitely don't use this as your instruction manual on how you should or should not proceed in your
This thing was supposed to be shot, let's see, the pandemic pushed it from shooting March 2020 to the summer in Bulgaria, and then you were inside a studio, which, watching as a spectator, you're like, oh my goodness, art design in this thing is remarkable. Tell me about creating that winter wonderland inside and what that was like for you.
They did create, and one of the studios, the Millennium Studios in Bulgaria is insane. That's one of the nicest studios I've been in. But they created an entire property that looked like something out of upstate New York that was completely snow covered, a cabin, a full house, because we had to be able to actually like drag him down and upstairs and out of bedrooms. And so all of that was real. And it was amazing.
No, I mean, it looks great. Tell me more about your co-star stuntman. I mean, you're like, what's it like being an actress while you drag a body?
So much glow off of this. He was amazing. He was heavy, and I was chained to him the whole time. And his job was to play dead, so he was like actually dead weight. And I was handcuffed to him, and I had to pull him around through all of the scenes, and it wasn't easy. I mean, I'm strong, but not that strong. After hour 13, it kind of gets a little trying.
It's crazy because it's like the ultimate definition of excess X baggage. As I'm watching this thing, I'm like, it's like in my mind, I'm dragging around my exes and being dragged.
It is like a visual joke. That is the joke.
Yeah, it is. It's good. Let me ask you a question. What is your advice on not being in a toxic relationship? What is your advice on being in a non-relationship that reflects till death,
I think you just have to be aligned with yourself, and you have to remove your ego as much as possible. You have to be selfless, meaning you have to always prioritize loving the other person where they are, as they are, who they are in this moment.
Talk to me a little bit about the underwater scene at the end. I was like full of anxiety as I'm seeing this guy hooked to you, he's hooked to him, everybody's going down. It's so scary. What was it like filming that? That
was kind of stressful because we did all of that for real. I was still chained to him while we were doing it, most of it. And, I'm good. I'm good in the water. I'm a good swimmer. I was a competitive swimmer as a kid. It's different though, when the cameras are rolling and you also have to fake drown. Then all of a sudden you are losing your air, and you do there were a couple of times I did panic, like, am I going to make it up to the surface in time? It's all mental, of course, but that was a cool scene. There were 2 men in the scene, both huge, like muscular dudes. And I was fighting my way back up to the surface to break the ice. It was intense. It was, I forgot all about that until you just mentioned it. That was an intense.
Let me ask you, you said you swam before. So did you hop back in the pool at all to kind of like get in shape or do a little preparation for water work in this?
No, because I just had to fake drown, so it didn't require me being a great swimmer. But that's also something, like, I did it competitively for years, so you don't really forget how to do that. I didn't have to get back in the pool.
I mean, it plays intense and it plays really well. If you don't mind me asking, what's Colson's take when he sees a scene like that? Has he seen any of this movie yet?
He's seen some of it. He was at ADR with me at one point, but he hasn't seen the whole movie, so he hasn't seen that yet.
Does he like you in that world, that kind of, you know, edgy thriller world, or does he feel uncomfortable when he kind of sees you do stuff like that?
No, I mean, he's an actor as well and an artist, so he likes to see the different facets of what I can do for work and like how I can push myself or be someone that I'm actually not, and how good I can hopefully be at accomplishing that and selling that.
I mean, I always think like, oh, if you're connected to that person that's drowning so well on screen, it's got to be unsettling. Okay, so we're saying, listen, don't live your relationship by this movie. But if there was a lesson you could gain from this movie, what do you hope the audience takes from it?
I just don't know if it's very philosophical, this movie, but a lesson from this movie. Break up or get divorced before you cheat doesn't ever work out well for anyone. Could end up chained to a dead person.
Listen, that is a really good sell. That should have been the log line for this thing. So when you do a strenuous role like this, is it fun or is it like all intensity? I know you're doing, like you said, you're dragging this dude around. It's a lot of physical stuff. Is it fun for you? Is it really, really work?
No, it's a lot of fun. There is like, it is work, of course, but it's a lot of fun. I prefer movies that are stunt heavy and like really physical, and I have the best time making those. I don't do well sitting still talking all day every day in a room. That's not as inspiring to me as something like this. So I had a great time, and I'll always choose movies like this over something that's more contained.